Well, Gaffer, the weather continues to be a bit of a dampener on the mood, but we've had one day of training in preparation for our Tuesday night fixture. Coming off the back of a win, there must be a lot of optimism in the camp.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the lads got what they thoroughly deserved on Saturday. um, we limited a really strong attack to very few clear-cut chances, whilst making a lot of good opportunities ourselves. And Pemmy popped up on a couple of occasions to put the ball in the goal, which is what his job is. And yeah, I thought we took exactly what we deserved from the game. It was encouraging because there was a couple of things we worked on the Thursday and Friday following the Sussex Senior Cup game that the lads listened to and acted out, to be honest with you. So that was really pleasing from a coaching standpoint. But ultimately, it's getting into that habit and these habits of what you need to do to win football matches. And we've now won 3 and 5, so it's looking a little bit rosier if you look behind us. Although we got to keep our eyes firmly on the road ahead.
And you mentioned there for the Saturday game, we had Thursday and Friday to work on specific things. Yeah. When it's a Saturday, Tuesday, and you just have that Monday, does it become more about recovery than anything else?
A lot of it's obviously they've got the recovery day on Sunday, and then this is match day +2, but also -1. So you've got to try and get as much into them as you can in terms of information on the opposition. But physically, you've got to be very careful what you're doing in terms of taking it out of the legs. So we're mindful of that. And it's been like that since I come in. The 2 weeks we've had Saturday, Tuesday, and looking at the schedule behind you there, it's the same for the next 3 Tuesdays. So it's just something we've got to put up with. So you can't do too much on the feet on a Monday, but we can get enough information to them to give them enough to know what they're going to face. And like I said, hopefully the extra day, not doing so much today, will put the spring back in the step for tomorrow night.
Well, Dagenham Redbridge tomorrow night. 2 teams that started slowly, 2 teams who are seeing a big upturn in form, and 2 teams who want to be a lot higher than they are up in the table. Tomorrow, despite the league table positioning, feels like quite a big game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like ourselves, I think they probably would have been a fancied side at the beginning of the season. It didn't start great for them, but they've persisted, and Lee knows what he's doing. He knows the way he wants to play football. He's got a really strong group of lads there, and undoubtedly I think they'll be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. I haven't set any targets for the group in terms of all I want to do is win the next football match. The fact that it's Dagenham and Redbridge means we want to try and win it, and after that one, I don't even know it. Western Supermare. I've just looked on the board. So after the Dagenham game's gone, that's all that's been in my head since Enfield. And until that one's out of the way, then we'll look at the next one.
And it's an opposition you know well from obviously last season.
Yeah.
What kind of a game are you expecting?
Tough. Like I said, I mean, I don't want to mention the obvious, but there's players in their team who've played at higher levels, and there'll be a lot of expectation on him. But ultimately, he's part of a team that are in front of us. So we've got to try and do what we do well, and we've got to try and stop them doing what they do well, and that's the art of football, really. I've been really pleased with the application of all the group since I come. I've added Kai Corbett to the group, which I think's a really good addition for us. I thought he nearly scored with his actual first touch in a Borough shirt on Saturday, and probably should have done, if I'm being honest. But I thought he brought a really good glue connection between the front and the back of the team, and I can see him getting people off their seats on occasions here. He was a big part of what we did in Aldershot and that. In the FA Trophy run, he actually scored more goals than anybody in the competition last season, I think. So I think he'll pop up with goals, but he'll fit seamlessly into the way we play because he knows how I work and he knows how I want the game played. So going out the door with Jez, I see he had a really good start for himself up at Chelmsford, and we wish him all the best. No animosity between me and Jez, by the way. It was just one of them things that Kai became available, and Chelmsford were interested in taking Jez in the other direction. So that's why that worked for both clubs. And like I said, we wish both the lads all the best in their new jobs.
Well, tomorrow home game will hopefully be making the use of home advantage. Having got 2 league wins away from home, you must be desperate to get that first home 3 points.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we won a game last week in the Sussex Senior Cup here, but you're right. It's that monkey off your back. You want to get through all scenarios as a manager as early as you can in the season. You want a clean sheet. You want to win a game. You want to win at home. You want to win away. You want to draw. You know everything. And the only thing we haven't done is win a league game yet. So, like I said, though, having won 3 out of our 5 games so far, there's no reason why we haven't got that winning feeling back. It's something that habits are hard to break, good and bad, and I think the group when I walked in were a little bit low because they just had lost a bit of confidence. But I think, there's some really good footballers here. There's some good kids, good lads, and some decent ability. So if we can put it together right, I'm sure that home win won't be too far away.
Well, just finally then, it'll be really important that the fans shop tomorrow night. I know the weather might make it a bit difficult, but hopefully a big crowd cheering you on.
Absolutely. Well, I know the people of East London and Essex, where Dagenham are coming from, like a trip to the seaside because they come to Southend a lot, and I live there. So that they can come down to the Sunshine Coast. Honestly, it doesn't rain here all the time, although I got drenched this morning in training. But yeah, I hope the people of Eastbourne come out. I think there's something happening here. And we're trying to get more people to come to watch us, to back us, because I think we're on the up and up. So yeah, I hope they come out and don't watch that Champions League rubbish or whatever's on the telly. Come and watch some real football down at the Lane.